Hello everyone, my name is David Allen Gay, and thank you very much for watching the latest video update from my initiative to return back to financial self-reliance, self-sufficiency through full-time employment, and to keep me off the streets. Today's date is July 31st, 2016. I'd like to share with you today a very important update. It is regarding something that I've mentioned a few times in my past few videos, in fact nearly all of my videos, about this place being temporary lodgings being covered by my immediate members of my family, so I can continue to conduct an aggressive job search and to return myself, as I stated before at the beginning of this video, to financial self-reliance and self-sustainability without resorting to donations or financial assistance from others. As I've mentioned, this is temporary lodgings, and I've always been concerned that if I can't find full-time employment, or at least get a steady flow of income in the form of donations, that I am going to lose this place and I am going to return back onto the streets again and be a couch server and a transient person. That time is coming very close. I need to explain a little bit something to you, a bit of history about what's going on and how this all started. Back in September of 2015, I ended up being in this place after an incident about almost a month ago where I was mugged and my laptop was stolen and my legs were scarred up from being assaulted. And my family responded to this by trying to find me some temporary lodgings so that I would not have to face a situation like this again, and I can continue my job search with a roof over my head and a bed to sleep on. And after a few tries, they found a place, and I've been here ever since. And I've continued my my calls for assistance to all of you out there in social media land, on the blogosphere, and for those of you who are watching cat videos on YouTube. But I need help. I need full-time employment, or at least some sort of donation, so that I can stay here and pay the rent, rather than my immediate members of my family handling the administration of this of these dwellings. And I wanted to explain to you a little bit more about how this works. Because I work full time, no landlord is going to sign a lease with me. And for those of you out there who are landlords, you're probably going to agree with me on this. You're not going to sign a piece of paper for any tenant who cannot guarantee an income every month to pay your rent. So the way it's working right now is that there's one member of my family who is the official leaseholder, and there's another member of my family who's covering the actual cost of the rent. So you've got a few people taking care of this, where only one person really needs to do this if this person was working. So while I'm not a leaseholder, I am technically a tenant. In this case, the tenant and the leaseholder are not necessarily the same thing. That was started way back in September of 2015, as I pointed out, and now we're coming close to the end of this lease. It is a one-year lease, and so far there's been no discussion between the related parties of my family to continue this lease for another year. And I can certainly understand why there's been no direct action or confirmation that they're going to renew this again for a second year. Let's face it, I mean, paying for my rent is not cheap. And no matter how rich you are, no matter what type of salary you make, it is a significant amount of money. This is not a cheap place to live. It does cost cash to live here. And there's been no movement. There's been no discussion as to whether or not this lease will be extended past September 15 or 30th, depending on when the lease was actually signed. As I said, I didn't sign the lease. I'm not the leaseholder, so I don't know the full arrangements. But I do understand that it was a one-year lease. I do know that I moved in here a year ago, last September, and now I'm in a situation where my lease is coming to an end, and there's been no confirmation as to where I'm going to be after September. Am I going to be in this place for another year, conducting a job search while having a roof over my head, or am I going to be in a situation where I go back to what I was doing before that led me to being mugged and assaulted, my laptop stolen, and my shin scarred from being beaten? I don't really know what my situation is going to be, and it's very important that I share this information with you because, as I said before, my plea for assistance is genuine and quite urgent. I am looking for full-time employment in the Waterloo region. That's Kitchener, Cambridge, or Waterloo, City of Waterloo, for work that I have the skill set to do. And it could be any sort of work. We have to find out what type of skills I have that fit your needs. But I've certainly demonstrated a wide aptitude of employment skills over the past few years, ranging from light outdoor work, industrial work in a light industrial work in a warehouse, to working in an office doing data entry, and I've even delivered flyers and I've written blogs. So the situation that I'm in right now is that I really do need your help, ladies and gentlemen. I really do need some sort of assistance on this, because if my lease does run out, and if the members of my family decide not to pick up the tab for another year, I am going to be out on the streets again. I am going to be sleeping in buses. I am going to go to 24-hour stores to basically try to keep awake until the morning so I can go back to sleep on a bus or in a park. I don't want to be in a situation like that again. It's not healthy. It's a very dangerous situation for me to be in. I was very lucky that I was not killed the last time I was mugged. But, luck can only go so far. What will go far is full-time work. And I'm looking for work in the Waterloo region, Cambridge, Waterloo, or Kitchener. Any sort of work that I have a skill set for, that I can fill a need for in your organization or your home, gratefully appreciate it. If you can't offer me work, I am certainly looking for donations to pay for my rent. I'm looking for any sort of donations that you can summon: $1, $2, $5, $10, $100, whatever you have the money for. I'm also a couch surfer, so if you have a place for me to stay for a few hours a week, that'll also be a great help for me as well. I don't require much. I just need a place to sleep for a few hours and then wake up in the following morning and then go out and continue my job search and continue my my campaign to make people aware of my situation. I do have about maybe 6 to 8 weeks to go. I am in the progress to start packing. I've actually been doing that for quite some time. Over the last 5 months, I've been donating stuff to Worth a Second Look, which is a wonderful organization that takes donations such as mine, converts them to cash, and then converts that cash into social programs that help the less fortunate, such as myself. The mentally and physically challenged, women's shelters, all sorts of stuff. So definitely Worth a Second Look on Weaver Street near Victoria, I believe it is, Victoria and Weaver. That's a great place to go to if you are looking for a bargain and you also want to help people out in the local community of Waterloo region. Like I said before, I am donating all my stuff. I just have some sentimental stuff, such as my yearbook, my school yearbook, photo albums, sentimental stuff that I don't want to carry with me if I'm going to be going back into a transitory state again, if I'm going to be homeless again. I can't sell these things. These things have no financial value. They're not even donatable. I would likely have to simply dispose of them. But I can't carry them with me. I'm not going to be one of those homeless people that you see carrying a shopping cart full of their life possessions. I'm only going to be carrying stuff that will matter, such as a computer for my job search, clothing for me to wear, some food that I can afford from my gigs on from temp agencies or from odd jobs from Kijiji and Craigslist. That's pretty much all I'm going to be carrying, but hopefully I won't have to do that. Hopefully there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel for me. Hopefully one of you people out there in social media land, the blogosphere, those of you watching cat videos on YouTube, hopefully you guys can help me find some work in the Waterloo region, get me back to work, so that I don't have to depend on my family to pay for the rent. I can actually pay for the rent, even though I'm not going to be the leaseholder. I can still at least cover the cost of the rent, or at least a part of the cost of the rent. That's very important. So if you cannot give me full-time employment, then I certainly will accept donations as well. And where you can donate is certainly not to my GoFundMe initiative. As I mentioned in my previous video, I got locked out because I don't have a phone. So that's kind of like a form of punishment for being poor. You can see the previous video if you want a full detail of what happened. You can do donations through PayPal at the email address dgaypaypal@hotmail.ca. I will, of course, provide that information at the lower section of this video area in the comment section where you can do donations. I'll also put my blog and also some other information that's relevant to my job search. So there you have it. I've been mentioning this for quite some time, that my lodgings are temporary and they may come to an end at any time. Well, I could have 6 to 8 weeks remaining before my time does run out and I do have to go back out on the streets again. But it doesn't have to be this way. With your help, ladies and gentlemen, you can get me back to financial self-reliance, self-sustainability, full-time employment. It's all I ask. So if you have any questions, you can write comments in the area below underneath this video. You can write me an email address using the PayPal account. You can also leave comments at my blog at davidallengay.wordpress.com. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. The information will be there if you have any comments, questions, or some offers of help. Anything that you can do to help me out. I'm there. I'm not a hard guy to get a hold of. Thank you very much for watching this latest video update. I wish you all a very good day, and you will be hearing more from me in the days and weeks to come regarding the situation, whether I've actually been able to find a resolution to remain for another few months, if not a year, at this location. Have yourself a good day. Bye for now.